So, what do I eat while I'm backpacking? Oh, and camping. Let me begin by saying I am not a nutritionist or a food expert. I'm just a guy who's been out enough camping, bikepacking, whatever, backpacking, to know how to fuel my body. And that's exactly the way I look at food, especially when I'm bikepacking. And you have to make consideration for how much food you can carry as far as weight and volume go. So by no means am I an expert. This is just what works for me. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying that in my normal life, my wife and I, we like to eat clean food. We don't like to have overly processed things. We cook everything at home with fresh vegetables and fresh meat, and we're smart with our carbs, smart with our fat. Now, when you're bikepacking, obviously, you have to compromise a little. So, a lot of people like to use these freeze-dried meals, and there's nothing wrong with that. For myself, I just don't care for the taste of them. It's not very satisfying at the end of the day, and when you look, there's a lot of stuff you can't really pronounce in the ingredients. So this is what I do. It's very simple. Flour tortillas, they can be used for near anything. You can make breakfast with it, lunch, supper, a snack, or you can just fold them up and you can cram them anywhere on your bike. So, man, it's like a superfood. And for breakfast, what I might do is take some peanut butter, and I love these squeeze pouches because you just put it right on there, no mess, no need for a knife or anything. And for breakfast with the peanut butter, maybe I'll add a little bit of honey. And I like to bring some raisins along. So you have a couple of breakfast burritos with peanut butter, honey, and raisins, you've had a pretty good breakfast. Also like to carry an apple or two. Bike packing, you can just jam them anywhere. Seems like the frame bag always has room for one more thing, so I'll try to jam an apple in. Oftentimes for lunch, I'll have another peanut butter and honey breakfast burrito for lunch. It's just simple and easy. You're along the trail, and no fuss, no mess. And then throughout the day, snacking, I like granola. This is a particular brand from Aldi. It's only 130 calories. There's no artificial anything in it. And a handful or two of that will really help keep your energy up, keep you from bonking. Another thing I love is Fig Newtons. These are a superfood in my opinion. Carry them in a baggie. Sure, when you're bikepacking, they get smushed up and they don't look all that appealing to eat, but they don't lose their nutrition. You can still eat them. And I did some comparisons. So a whole pack of Fig Newtons, it's about 28 of them, is about $2.50 to $3 at most stores. 2 cookies, you get 100 calories, 2 grams of fat, 110 milligrams of sodium, and 20 grams of carbs. Man, that's just great food at a low cost. Now, a lot of people like the energy gels, and I picked Goo because it's the first one that popped up on my internet search. It's about $1.25 per pack, so it's much more expensive than Fig Newtons, and you get 100 calories, which is the same. 0 fat, only 60 milligrams of sodium, and 22 carbs. So you get a little more carbs, but it's costing you more money. And the Goo does take up less space on your bike, but gosh, that stuff's just nasty. I don't like it at all. And another thing is the Honey Stinger waffles. Now, I love those things. They're delicious. But they're $2.50 to $3 a piece, depending on where you get them. And you're only getting 150 calories, 7 grams of fat, 55 milligrams of sodium, and 19 grams of carbs. So it's not near as much nutrition and energy as a simple and humble Fig Newton. Try them out. I love the figs. So another good snack I like to take is these little bags of almonds. These are the unsalted ones, but I prefer the salted ones because when you're bikepacking, you're sweating and you really need the extra salt. All right, so after a day of bike packing, you get to the camp, you're hungry. Ain't nobody wants to cook. At least I can tell you, I don't want to cook. I do carry a stove. Mainly I carry a stove for making tea and coffee, which I love, especially in the morning. To have a good cup of coffee, to me, it's worth carrying extra weight. But for supper, once again, we're going to have a burrito. A couple flour tortillas, and you know, if you don't like the plain flour tortilla, there's a lot of different brands out there, healthier options for sure. So shop at your local supermarket and see what you like. But take a couple of those, and you can buy these bags of beans. And these are the Santa Fe brand. I have a couple different flavors. You can get plain refried beans, you can get pinto beans, and man, it's super easy. You just zip the pouch open, squeeze some on your tortilla. If you want to amp it up, StarKist makes these meat packs. This one is Southwest style chicken, and this one is taco style beef. I don't even heat it up. I just eat it at whatever temperature it is. If you want to spice it up a little bit like I do, I like a little Tabasco. Another thing I've tried, and I don't have any with me, is the individual packages, little cups of black olives, and the little cans of green chilies. You know, you can carry a couple of those on your bike and really have a amped up kind of a supper. It's tastes good and it's fulfilling, and it's just not full of all the bad stuff. I mean, this is just clean. And I wrote down some stats here. So for 2 tortillas with the beans and the meat, a little bit of Tabasco, a total of 720 calories. That's for 2 of them. 11.5 grams of fat and 90 total grams of carb. So yeah, that's a pretty complete meal when you've been expending energy all day long. Now you look at the Mountain House. I think this is a breakfast skillet, but they're all similar in calories. This entire pack is 520 calories, which is 200 less than 2 tortillas, and it has a lot more fat. There's 26 grams of fat in this, and only 46 grams of carbs. And like I said, there's just a lot of ingredients in here that are hard to pronounce. You can put your hot water in here, and it's kind of mushy mealy. It's just not my thing. But if it's yours, by all means, take what makes you happy. So also I like to carry coffee and tea. Instead of making real coffee along the trail, I know some people are going to fuss. I like to use these little instant coffee packs. For one, they can fold up and just cram them anywhere. And I use this big cup, so it takes 2 of them. And in the afternoon, I like to stop and take a break and make myself a good tea. So I have this regular black tea in a bag. This is the type without the foil wrapper. Saves the environment and saves space on your bike. And then a little bit of honey with that. A little bit of tea and honey. It makes for a good roadside break. You get a few calories from it, from the honey. And I find it to be quite enjoyable. So this is what I eat when I'm bike packing. It's simple. Well, I know it weighs a lot. So let's compare the weights real quick. If weight is a concern, it may be a better option to go with freeze-dried food. So let's see if we can get these to both balance in here. I've estimated what a 1.5 cups of water looks like, along with the meal. And you're about 1 pound, 5 ounces for a single meal. It's not too bad. So for comparison's sake, we'll just take a couple of flour tortillas. So we're getting about 6 ounces from those. And then we'll add our meat and our beans and the Tabasco. It doesn't weigh anything. So what we end up is 1 pound, 4 ounces, which is right on par with the weight of the freeze-dried meal if you include the water that it takes to make it. So it's really not much more weight to take real food. It's going to be a little bulkier, no doubt about it. But hey, I like the real food. Oh, almost didn't mention, when I'm bike packing or camping, at the end of the day, I do like to treat myself, and my favorite treat is peanut M&Ms. So in the comments, what's your favorite treat to eat while you're bike packing, camping, bike touring? One other thing I bring is a military style can opener, because you never can tell, you know, you run out of food, need a can of soup or something. It's good to have a can opener. So that's what I eat while I'm bike packing. Let's take a look at what I eat when I'm camping. Now when I'm camping, you know, I'm camping from my truck, so I can bring pretty much what I want. So I prefer to have some real food, and you notice I bring along a coffee pot. This is an old drippolator, really like that coffee. Cast iron skillet. So for dinner tonight, we're going to have a steak, along with some fried potatoes with onion, and a little bit of garlic. That should be a fine meal. We're also going to try something new that I've never done before. I've pre-mixed some stuff, some flour, some salt, some baking powder, to make bannock. So we're going to try bannock bread, have some with dinner. If it turns out good, we'll have some for breakfast tomorrow too. Now speaking of breakfast, you know, I'm camping. I like to eat pretty good. So I've got some turkey bacon, and then some eggs, butter, and we'll have some fried eggs, bannock, buttered bannock, with some bacon. So, and some fresh tomatoes from our garden. So, bike packing versus camping, definitely eat a little better. In summary, eat what makes you happy and what fuels your human machine. Get out there and go.